The devil smirked, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "If you are truly the Son of God, why suffer hunger in this desolate place? Command these stones to become bread." Jesus, unperturbed, replied, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." The devil's eyes narrowed. He wasn't done. Transporting them to the pinnacle of the temple, he challenged, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He shall give His angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone." Jesus responded firmly, "It is written again, you shall not tempt the Lord your God." With a dark chuckle, the devil transported them to a high mountain, showing Jesus all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. "All these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me." Jesus, resolute and unwavering, declared, "Away with you, Satan! For it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve." The devil's face twisted with fury, yet a cunning glint shone in his eyes. "You think this is over? You think you've won?" Suddenly, the ground beneath Jesus' feet trembled as a horde of demons rose surrounding him. Each demon represented a deadly sin, their whispers filling the air with temptation and deceit. As Jesus faced the encroaching darkness, a figure stepped forward from the shadows. It was Judas, his disciple, now twisted and corrupted by greed and guilt. "You couldn't save me, Jesus. What makes you think you can save anyone else?" The words cut deep, but Jesus' resolve only strengthened. He knew this battle was not just against physical forces, but against the very essence of sin and temptation. As the battle raged on, the devil's tactics grew more insidious. He conjured illusions of a world where sin reigned supreme, where humanity was enslaved by their darkest desires. He showed Jesus visions of people giving in to their temptations, families torn apart, and nations crumbling under the weight of their vices. In one harrowing vision, Jesus saw a baby lying lifeless in a crib, the result of a world where sin was unchecked. The devil's voice echoed, "This is the world you want to save, a world that constantly turns its back on you and on God." Jesus, deeply moved, responded with unwavering faith, "I came to save the lost, to bring light to the darkness. No matter how great the sin, redemption is always possible." Just when it seemed the devil had the upper hand, an unexpected ally joined Jesus' side. It was Michael the archangel, descending with a host of heavenly warriors. The clash between the forces of heaven and hell reached a fever pitch, with celestial and infernal beings locked in combat. In a desperate move, the devil revealed his trump card. He showed Jesus a vision of his own crucifixion, the agony and suffering he would endure. "This is your fate, Jesus. Pain, betrayal, and death. Is this what you want?" But Jesus, with a serene smile, replied, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. My sacrifice will not be in vain." The final confrontation between Jesus and the devil was nothing short of apocalyptic. The sky darkened and the earth shook as their powers clashed. Lightning flashed and thunder roared as the ultimate showdown between good and evil reached its zenith. In a moment of pure divine intervention, a brilliant light enveloped Jesus, symbolizing the unbreakable bond between him and God. The devil, blinded by the radiance, recoiled in fear and anger. With a voice that resonated through the heavens, Jesus declared, "It is finished." The ground split open, and the devil was cast back into the abyss, defeated but not destroyed. The demons scattered, and the visions of a sinful world began to fade. Peace and light returned, and Jesus stood victorious, not through force, but through unwavering faith and love. In the aftermath, Jesus looked upon the world with compassion. He knew that sin would always be a part of humanity, but so would the potential for redemption. As the visions of despair and darkness faded, the lifeless baby in the crib began to stir and breathe again, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. The devil attempted to undermine Jesus by showing him twisted versions of ancient prophecies. In these visions, holy texts were corrupted to predict a future of despair and destruction, falsely attributing such outcomes to divine will. The devil proclaimed, "Your own scriptures betray you, Jesus. They foretell a world of endless suffering." Jesus, calmly refuting, stated, "The true essence of these prophecies is hope and salvation. They speak of trials, but also of ultimate redemption and the victory of good over evil. Misinterpretation is a tool of deceit." In another scene, the devil manifested loved ones from Jesus' past, including Mary and Joseph. These apparitions begged Jesus to abandon his mission for his safety. "You have done enough, my son," they pleaded. "Come back to us and live in peace." Jesus, moved but resolute, replied, "My path is not one of personal comfort, but of sacrifice for the greater good. Love sometimes means letting go and enduring hardship for the sake of others." The devil revealed a distorted vision of the afterlife, where souls wandered in torment, doubting the possibility of salvation. This is what awaits your followers, Jesus, an eternity of doubt and regret. Jesus, shining with divine certainty, countered, "True faith leads to eternal peace and joy. The struggles of this world are temporary, but the rewards of faith and righteousness are everlasting." In a poignant moment, the devil showed scenes of people struggling with guilt and self-loathing, trapped by their past mistakes. "They cannot forgive themselves, Jesus. They are beyond redemption." Jesus responded with compassion, "Forgiveness is the cornerstone of my teachings. No one is beyond redemption. By forgiving themselves and others, they can find peace and move forward with renewed purpose." The devil attempted to seduce Jesus with a vision of a perfect, unified world under his rule. "With my power and your influence, we can create a utopia where there is no conflict, no suffering." Jesus, discerning the illusion, answered, "True unity and peace cannot be imposed through control and fear. They must arise from understanding, compassion, and the free will to choose the path of righteousness." In a final desperate act, the devil showed a vision where Jesus never resurrected, leading to the collapse of faith among his followers. "Without your resurrection, your mission is meaningless. They will lose hope." Jesus, filled with divine assurance, declared, "The power of my resurrection lies not just in the event, but in the enduring hope it represents. Even in the face of doubt, faith can be resurrected in the hearts of believers." The final showdown included new celestial phenomena, with the heavens opening up to reveal a choir of angels singing in support of Jesus. The devil summoned ancient forgotten evils to bolster his ranks, but Jesus' faith created an impenetrable barrier of light, repelling all darkness. In the aftermath, Jesus bestowed blessings upon the renewed earth, bringing forth signs of miraculous healing and restoration. The visions of the hopeless were replaced with images of flourishing communities and rekindled faith. Turning to the audience, the narration concludes, "This story teaches us the relentless power of faith, love, and forgiveness. Despite the trials we face, redemption is always within reach. Let us walk in the light, bring hope to the world, and inspire others to do the same." As the echoes of the final confrontation faded, a new chapter began to unfold in the aftermath of the battle. The Earth, once scarred by the clash of cosmic forces, now started to heal. But the aftermath brought with it unforeseen challenges and revelations. From the shadows of the abyss, a new force began to stir, an entity unlike anything previously encountered. This being, known as Nihil, thrived on the void left by the devil's defeat. Nihil was not merely a creature of darkness, but a force of absolute entropy, seeking to erase all existence and start anew. Nihil's presence was felt as a chill wind sweeping across the land, carrying whispers of despair and disillusionment. Where there was once light and hope, Nihil's influence began to sow seeds of doubt and fear among the people. It was as if the very essence of hope was being drained from the world. Realizing that the battle against the devil had only paved the way for an even greater challenge, Jesus embarked on a new mission. He needed to rally the forces of light and spirit to counteract Nihil's encroaching darkness. His journey took him across various realms, from the celestial heights of heaven to the deepest parts of the earth, gathering allies and spreading messages of hope and resilience. One of his first stops was a hidden sanctuary deep within the forest, where ancient sages had long guarded secrets of divine power. These sages, initially skeptical, were moved by Jesus' unwavering determination and agreed to lend their wisdom and strength. As Jesus continued his mission, he discovered that the key to overcoming Nihil was not just in individual acts of bravery or faith, but in the unity of all beings, both mortal and divine. He called upon diverse groups from across the realms, humans, angels, spirits, and even creatures of legend, to form a coalition of light. Join us on this journey of faith and redemption. Subscribe and like for more stories that inspire and uplift.